What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of the Henotic Path Podcast. My name is Joshua Whitney. I am your host. Today's episode, I'm going to talk about a couple more personal things. My recent struggle with 7-hydroxy. I'm going to expand on that a little bit more. Something funny I noticed about AI this weekend, or maybe not so funny, and what it means to be a human and what it means to have intuition. So my daughter is turning 2. No, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. My daughter's turning 1 in 2 days. Her birthday is in 2 days. So by the time this podcast comes out, she will have already turned 1. So that to me is just absolutely crazy that my daughter is already going to be a year old. She's already been here for a year. People tell you that time flies when you have kids and, savor every moment. And it's like you kind of, okay, yeah, you nod your head and you say, yeah, okay, I got it. Yeah, well, I'm going to be present. But you don't get it until you're in it. And I'll tell you, this year has flown by. This last year with her has flown by. And it's only going to go faster. It's crazy this life that we get as a human being for this blip of time on this wild, insanely beautiful planet. We are here for just a blink of an eye, and it's like we think we have all this time, and I'm very guilty of this myself. I think I have all this time to do the things that I want to do and I'll get to that eventually, and part of me feels like I've lived many lives. I've been here many times. I've done I've experienced so much. So I'm not afraid of missing anything. I don't have this feeling, this urgency within myself that I'm going to miss out if I don't get to A, B, C, D, E, F, G and accomplish all of these things and have all these goals and and just knock them down. And I'm sitting back. I'm enjoying the journey more than anything. I have a deep sense of inner peace that it's all good. It's okay. But at the same time, it's like life really is going fast, and it's just going to go faster and faster and faster. So, stop putting off that stuff you want to do, right? I've been telling myself I was going to do this podcast for, a year, and here we are. So, okay, that's cool, right? We're rocking with it. We're going with it. We're going to see where this thing goes. But yeah, just time goes so quick. It just goes so quick. And it's like, since COVID happened, I don't know how everybody else feels about this, but since COVID happened, I feel like time just sped up. Like we just like hit warp drive and we're just going. I mean, the weeks feel like days, the months feel like weeks, and the years, it's just like, I don't even know where this last year went. It's crazy. So yeah, all the more reason to be present and to just really, feel it, feel it. Let's stop running from it. Let's stop chasing all these things that don't matter. And let's make the most of this little blip of time that we get here in this time, in this moment in history. It's like, it's a very interesting time we're in. So 7-hydroxy, I want to expand on that. I talked a little bit about that in the last podcast. I'll just do a quick overview, recap of what 7-hydroxy is. Basically, 7-hydroxy is a synthetic opiate, okay? Very powerful synthetic opiate, being sold as a synthetic kratom, okay? So kratom has been available inside of smoke shops, vape shops, gas stations for a long time. The whole leaf kratom products that are available, I think, are very good and very beneficial, very helpful. They can, if used responsibly, that can really help change your life for the better if you're stuck on something like a hardcore opiate. Kratom can be the bridge to get you back on track, to help you get your life back together, right? That's what I did. When I was an opiate addict in my 20s, I used Kratom. I found Kratom, started using Kratom, and used it to bridge the gap between me and my old self and then the new self that I wanted to create, okay? So 7-hydroxy, though, is a totally different thing. So 7-hydroxy, 7-OH, it's a synthetic opiate. It's 13 times more powerful than morphine. And it's being sold in the same stores right next to Kratom as Kratom to anybody who, and people don't know what they're getting. They're buying this stuff, they're taking it. It's super strong, super powerful. You literally don't need to take it more than a couple days before you're going to get addicted to it and then suffer withdrawals from it, which, when it comes to opiate addiction, the thing that I think pushes people back to the drug over and over and over again, why it's so hard to get away from, is the withdrawal. Okay, because the withdrawals suck. I mean, it's like you get into opiate withdrawal and there's fatigue. It's like your hormones, everything, like your mood is completely off balance. Your energy is completely off. Everything is just off when you're going through opiate withdrawal. And it's very uncomfortable. So if you are a person who's addicted to an opiate and you're trying to quit, you're trying to stop, I think the mistake that most people make, and the mistake that I know that I made back in my 20s when I was first trying to quit opiates, was trying to quit abruptly and then just white knuckling it through the withdrawal process. Withdrawals can last a week. Acute severe withdrawal symptoms from opiates can last up to a week, longer. I mean, you're talking restless leg syndrome, so you cannot sleep at night. You feel like your skin is crawling, you're getting cold, clammy sweats, hot flashes throughout the day. It's terrible. I mean, it's absolutely terrible. And you know that to feel okay, to feel good and feel better, all you have to do is go get your drug and take it, and then you're going to be back to normal, right? So why not just go do that, Because frick withdrawals, frick this crappy feeling that you're going through. Just go back and get the drugs. So people just they try to cut it off too fast, right? So I was taking 7-hydroxy for 7 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks. Happy to say at the time of recording this, I've successfully weaned myself off of the 7-hydroxy. Last time I took any was 3 or 4 days ago, and I'm not going back to it. There's just absolutely no way that I'm going to touch that stuff again, because, again, it's just too much. It's too fast, too hard, and not worth it. It's just not worth it. If you have any kind of life going for you, it is not worth it to get sucked in and trapped by anything, especially something that's going to make you super sick if you can't get it. Okay? So the process to getting off of opiates, from what I've learned, I've successfully quit Kratom, now 7-hydroxy, beat heroin, beat pills, all the stuff back in the day. What I've learned, though, a good technique for getting off of this stuff is to slowly wean down, to slowly titrate your dose down over the course of weeks or months, okay? So if you're somebody who's taking 7-hydroxy, you're taking, let's say, 200 milligrams a day. That's a whole 5-pack of the pressed pills. I think that's a pretty popular brand. If you're taking 200 milligrams a day, which I think a fair amount of people are out there right now, the way that you would stop that is not by dropping your dose by, 50 milligrams a day. I mean, you could try that, maybe, but I would say just do 10 milligrams a day. Drop by 10 milligrams a day. So you start out with 200, and every day you drop 10 milligrams. Maybe the last 4 days you drop 5 milligrams a day. And while you're dropping, you slowly supplement in taking whole leaf kratom. Whole leaf kratom is a very safe and very beneficial plant substance that you can take and not have to worry about any kind of overdose type stuff or anything like that. Kratom is safe. Kratom is a good thing, okay? You have to use it responsibly. You got to use everything responsibly. But if you're stuck, if you're in a position where you're addicted to 7-hydroxy or something else, heroin, pills, whatever, the way to get off that stuff is you figure out what your daily dose is, you pick a start date, and you get a calendar. And in that calendar, you write down the amount in grams or milligrams that you can take each day, slowly dropping the amount you're taking until you're done. And while you're doing that, you're uploading or you're supplementing in kratom, more kratom. Okay, so right now I'm taking probably 20 grams of kratom per day. That's a pretty solid amount of kratom to take per day. I've had times in my life where I'm taking 30 grams a day, sometimes even 40. It's a little rough. But that just is what it is. I'm here. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm doing all right. I'm healthy. Okay. I guess the point of all this, what I'm trying to get at is, if you're stuck on an opiate, there is a very clear and easy way to get off of it. Okay, I know that they're addictive. I know that they completely change the chemistry of the brain. They hijack the part of the brain, the survival part of the brain that literally is the place where you get the urge to eat, get the urge to drink water, get the urge to reproduce. That same part of the brain gets hijacked by something like an opiate, and it makes you feel like if you don't get your opiates, you're gonna die. Okay. Plus, you have the withdrawals on top of it, the physical withdrawals. So it's a double whammy. It's hard to beat. It's hard to beat. But if you're serious about wanting to beat it, if you want to get off of it, there's a way to do it, and it's just you have to figure out how much you're taking and slowly decrease that amount over the course of weeks or months. Supplement in kratom, and then eventually, if you stick to the plan, you'll stop and you'll be done. Of course, then you're going to be on the kratom. Okay, that's all right. You can do the same thing with the kratom. Figure out how much kratom you're taking. Very soon here, I'm going to be getting my daily dose that I'm taking of kratom. Figure that out for sure. And I'm going to do the same exact process that I've done 6 times already with kratom and quit successfully. And I'm going to wean down off of the kratom. And then I'm going to stop taking the kratom. And then I'm going to be on this 2-year journey. I'm just going to call it 2 years. Okay, where I'm not taking any kratom, I'm not taking any opiates, I'm not taking any exogenous substance that's going to stimulate my opioid receptors. And I'm going to figure out who I am without opiates, because I said this in the last podcast, but I haven't gone more than 3 or 4 months in almost 2 decades without activating my opioid receptors. It takes a 1.5 years minimum for your body to reset, for your opioid receptors to reset, your dopamine, your serotonin, your natural endorphin production. All of that takes at least 1.5 years. So my goal is 2 years. I'm gonna do that. I'm going to hit that. I might include not drinking any alcohol for 2 years. We'll see. But yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good journey, and I'm sure I'll share more about it along the way. I want to mention too, if you're somebody who's struggling with opiates or 7-hydroxy, whatever, and you're serious about quitting and you want help, you can reach out to me. I'll do what I can to help you. I'll lay out the plan I just talked about and give it to you on paper, so it's very easy for you to see. But if you're serious, if you're not serious, then don't waste either of our time. Okay. I told you how to do it just now, so take that if you want. Try it. If you can't do it with that, then hit me up. Then maybe we can talk. Yeah, so let's switch topics here. I'm doing a bunch of renovations at my over the weekend, I was doing a bunch of renovations on the property where I live at, where the place I'm converting into Henotic Spirit Center, where I'm posting these podcasts, the Henotic Spirit Center YouTube channel. That is a holistic wellness space that me and my wife are working on. We are slowly putting it together, been slowly renovating it since we've been here almost 2 years now. The whole place needs to be renovated and fixed up. So, money, time, energy, it takes a lot to do. And so far doing pretty much everything by myself. So I was doing painting the floor in the bathroom this weekend, and I was consulting Chat GPT for help on painting the floor, on staining a door, and just like asking it any questions I had anything I was wondering about. I was asking Chat GPT, and I mean we were chatting back and forth like all weekend almost, And then today I'm cleaning windows. I'm doing a house, and down in the window well where there's the egress window, the basement window, so people can get out of the basement if there's an emergency. Those wells, those are like traps for frogs and toads and any kind of animals that fall into them, because they usually just have a grate over top, and things can fall through the grate. And in this one today, there was a bunch of toads and frogs. And I saw this toad. I got a big toad out. I got a bunch of frogs out. And I was looking for more. And then I saw this other toad, bigger toad, just chilling like in some dirt. And I'm like thinking like, should I? He looks pretty content. It's moist in here. It's like pretty damp. It's like out, on the north side of the house. So there's not a lot of sun. Maybe it's a good thing that he's down here and he's just chilling and he's living his best life. And, I should just leave him alone. But I was thinking, well, no, I don't know. So I whip out my phone and ask ChatGPT, and as I'm doing it, I'm thinking to myself, like, what am I doing? Why am I asking ChatGPT if I should help this toad out or leave him? My first intuitive thought was to help him out and just get him out of the wheel well, or the window well. But I whip out my phone, I ask ChatGPT, and as I'm doing it, I'm thinking to myself, like, geez, like, this is dangerous. This is really dangerous. Because how quickly can I lose the connection to my intuition and to my ability to make decisions for myself without consulting this super intelligent AI? And I know that this is happening to people. I know that people are losing the connection to their intuitive selves because they're getting hooked on this super intelligent AI. And I don't blame anyone for that, because if you have not tried it, well, try it. Check out ChatGPT. You need to know at least what it is and what it's capable of. If you have no idea and you're just thinking this is just another thing that's a phase that's going to go away, you are wrong. You are wrong, and this thing that is coming, AI, the change that is about to happen here it's on par with the discovery of fire. It is probably greater than the invention of electricity. Now, really think about that. Okay, if that is true, if what I just said is true, or even a little slightly true, and you just think that you're just going to ignore it and it's just going to go away, and you're not going to have to deal with it, well, ignorance is bliss for sure, but it's not going anywhere, and it's just going to get more and more infused into everything that we're doing, to all the technology, to all the machines, into everything, until who knows, it's like a flip of a coin right now whether this is going to be a good thing or complete destruction. We'll see. But the original point I was making was, losing connection to your intuition. So I have friends who consult with guides, with channelers, psychics, with mediums. I've met with these people myself, and there's the same thing there, where if you're not careful, you're going to lose your ability to make decisions. You're going to lose your ability to trust yourself and to trust what you feel inside. And I don't think we've even begun to really tap into what we are capable of as far as our intuition, as far as our knowing, as far as like what we really are, like beyond just the human physical body and the mind and the intellect. Beyond that, like the spirit, okay, the heart, the divine, like the connection to source and higher knowledge, higher wisdom that is available to all of us if we pray, if we meditate, if we get still and we cultivate listening to the heart. Okay? Listening to the heart. There's a story that Paul Chek said. Paul Chek's an incredible person, human being. He told this story of this woman that came to one of his workshops, and he said he noticed her. As soon as she came in, he noticed her, and he went up to her and said, it was like her aura, her energy, her field, whatever you want to call it, was just like diamond. It was like the purest, strongest, most coherent person that he's met in his life. And he's like, who are you? What is your name? And why are you in my class? I should be in your class. And basically what she told him is, well, I've been working with this master teacher, and there's only one teaching. There's only one thing we practice, and that's to follow what the heart knows is true. Follow what the heart knows is true. How are you ever going to follow what the heart knows is true if you never practice connecting to your heart, if you never get still, if you never stop everything and sit and be quiet? Life's going to pass you by. Life is going to pass us all by, right? And whatever, it is what it is. We're all getting the experience we came here to get. But this idea of connecting to your heart, which I believe is the intuitive part of us, that part that's connected to our higher self, to the divine, to source, to pure wisdom and awareness, that part is there. And it's waiting for us, right? It's always available to us. I think that way back, we might have had capabilities that like today we would call magic, because of how much more we had to use our minds and how much stiller just the pace of life was. There was no radio waves and 5G and this and that, text and email and Instagram notifications coming through. Like, we were just like in the earth, we were of the earth, and we were connected. Like, we were connected, So who knows what we're capable of as human beings. I think we're capable of far more than what we've been led or what we've been taught to think and believe that we're about. So bringing this back to the AI thing, or if you're, outsourcing your decision making, to channelers or psychics or whatever, it's the same thing. We can't outsource our decision making too much. We have to be cognizant of that. We have to be very aware of what we're doing and mindful of what we're doing, because like any addiction, anything can become a habit that is going to negatively affect your life. Anything. Okay? There's so much stuff. It doesn't always look like taking a pill or whatever, using a drug. It's, it could be using your phone, it could be using AI, it could be, the list is crazy. Social media addiction, gambling addiction, so many things, right? To get sucked into and to get thrown off center by. Okay? But it all starts with awareness. It all starts with cultivating awareness, with waking up to the problems that are going on, the problems that we're actually dealing with, being vigilant to stay on track, being vigilant and disciplined to get back on track, whatever track whatever that looks like for you, it is what it is for you. But all of us know the difference between right action and wrong action. We all know the difference. We all know that if we go right, this is going to take us closer to God. This is going to take us closer to being a better version of ourselves. This is going to take us closer to being better for the people around us. And if we go left, this is going to take us further from God. This is going to take us further from what our potential is, who we could be. And, it's going to make the world for people around us worse. We know the difference. And we get to choose. That's a beautiful thing about being a human being. We have this thing called free will, and we can choose. Maybe we have free will, right? I think when you're addicted and you don't know it, you don't really have free will. But there's always that little smidge of opportunity that you could make a different choice. What it takes to wake you up, to get you to the point where you actually do make a different choice, that's a different thing. But yeah, guys, intuition is a precious gift that we all have. And we all have the ability to tap into a higher state of knowing, a higher state of awareness. But it begins with, admitting that you don't know everything, admitting that you might be making mistakes here, you might be doing less than your best there, and then from there, realizing that it's okay, that you don't know everything, that's a whole nother thing. Like in our world, our society, it's like we demand to know the answer, even if we know it's a lie, right? We demand to be told the answers to things, even if we know they're lies. We're better than that. We can do better than that. We should do better than that, because living in a world where we are lying to ourselves and we're lying to each other and we're just saying, it's okay. It's all right. We'll do better later. Well, look at where that attitude is getting us. Look at where we're at as a world, as a society, right? So much there. There's so much there. That went, I don't know where that went. I'm gonna have to rewatch this and see what I even said. I don't even know what I said. But I hope that was a decent episode 2. Guys, be vigilant and take control of your life. Take control of your life as much as you can. Whatever you're dealing with, whatever addiction it might be, because we're all addicted to something nowadays. Everybody has some kind of problem. Just admit that you got the problem and just start working on getting better. Just start working on getting better. Just be humble. Be humble. Okay? Be humble. We don't have it all figured out. You don't have it all figured out. And it's okay. That part, that second part, that it's okay, that is what we need to really take in. Because when we can know that it's okay to not have the answers, God, is that freeing. God, does that free us up? It gives us the ability to really be honest, and then to start course correcting and to start letting these things fall off that we don't need to carry any longer, so that we can get closer to God, so that we can get closer to Spirit. We can find that intuition. We can find that inner voice, that inner knowing, and be the people that we have the potential to be. This is a gift to be a human being. This is a gift. So don't waste it. All right? That's it for this week's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, follow, do all the things that you do on social media. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace. Oh, and by the way, guys, I did save the toad. I didn't mention that in the podcast, but I did save the toad. So all the toads and all the frogs were saved today and are safe and sound.